ability here for Monte, but it's also a situation where if you're PERA, you know, this is a map that you probably have. I mean, they've played a lot more of than the Monte side, and they come in with their full roster. They're supposed to be fighting at full force against a Monte that this is. I mean, this is the most ample opportunity that anyone's had to face Monte in the ESL Challenger League to actually get an upset over them.
And
so don't squander it.
Concerned, you know, hopefully we're going to see a slightly better performance from them coming into the CT side. Of course, they're going to be showing us D side with something that we didn't get too much of on Mirage. They did end up losing out, unfortunately, very early on. But now they start off with a single set of util on Aaron. Looks to be a quick pop out towards a smoke for Mini, and with the double setup in ramp, there will be a world where they can just quickly take control of it. But with full retake being played out by Monte, this will be a very difficult round for them to actually find kills before planting the bomb. Waro's actually going out to expose himself in his attempt to get an advantage early in, though, and this is where the round push that comes into effect. Ryu unable to find a frag, and Emerson's forced off. They're all trying to funnel into Mini, leaving behind only one, and that's where Cameo needs to find the frag, or at least stay alive. Waro's been completely traced down, but meanwhile, more kills are coming in. T-Sign are just taking control of everything, and Camion's been allowed to rain havoc right down onto that A site.
Yeah, I mean, Camion basically just totally dismissed that triple flank attempt there from Monte, re-aggressing in through lobby. And even though there was a kit on Gizmi, it was just impossible for them to transition to the bomb site. I like the decision there from PERA to pressure into main when it was only Waro and he'd been dinked up earlier in that fight. So not a lot that he could really do to stop all these players just running at him. But I mean, Camion thriving in that environment where, you know, his position was actually sort of tantamount to stopping Monte from getting in.
The 5-7 just not able to get anything. Always a little bit scary trying to rush into ramp, and you've got that on the other side, but now Gizmi's the one put into the line of fire where he does receive a little bit too much fire. Demka and Krasnell have been set up for success now, though, as they can continue fragging forward. Krasnell picks up a second, and this is where the third could be around the corner, but Camion catches him off guard. Poria and Camion have regained advantages, but Waro's scout is unable to even fire a single shot before being taken down.
Yeah, I mean, just got a little lick of the end of that scout, I think, just around those doors before Waro swung, so yeah, he took a lot of damage before he even saw anybody. It was a nice call there from Monte. Started a player down the ramp. One that actually went to face check it was Ryu, that did end up empty-handed, but it kind of led PERA into a bit of a trap. There was a lot of presence from Monte defending that B-bomb site. Doesn't end up working for them, but the damage is certainly nice. Fast play once again here from PERA, and they do have a Zeus in play that could find a kill. War around the corner with it, but yeah, unable to get much of anything done from his position. A couple of kills in, and they're just looking to flood once again, just keep the pressure applied. PERA down to 2, and that dig from Demka could certainly finish off these players. Poria, it would take a headshot, but DJGL, anywhere he's hit would be a death sentence. Very audible rotation here from Demka. Yeah, that interaction only used to happen when there was a smoke that was yet to bloom and you tried to open the door on CSGO, or if there was a player in front of the doors. In CS2, because of I guess the way that the smokes are calculated, it almost like creates an entity that the door doesn't want to go past, so it opened the wrong way. I think it kind of exclusively happens on Nuke. I don't seem to recall any other positions, like even on Overpass. I think it only sometimes happens as well, so it's, you know, it's not like a Valve please fix. It's not. It doesn't feel like it's an easy fix. It could be. I mean, it gives you fake information, considering how it interacted in Go to now. But that's neither here nor there. Back into rifles are Monte, and they spam the vents. DGL finding a kill on AWP, and they flush Krasnell into the open just using an HE. They've found, I mean, pretty laborless kills here on PERA side, and so this gun round from Monte gets nothing. To be fair to you, the blood does dissipate after a short period of time, so even if there was blood, it might not be there anymore. Yeah, one of the changes that I think was a little strange, you know, people had R-Clear decals bound in CSGO, and it felt like a good way of acknowledging information that, you know, you otherwise wouldn't have had, but Valve were like, yeah, you know what, that blood, it, I don't know, it mystifies, evaporates, yeah, as soon as it hits contact to the wall. Maybe they need a physics or chemistry class. Blood is way too viscous for that. Yeah, that's one of the two rifles, both of them pushing towards outside, and so they get the fight that they were looking for. Unfortunately, it is in a position where that rifle can't sort of be recovered and exchanged for one of these SMGs or Gizmi on the pistol. But they'll take a man-up situation, so they'll peel back from away from outside. Nuke does get found around the smoke, but Moro's going to take opportunity, start creeping into door as well, and he'll find MSN blissfully unaware, but was watching for that play, just couldn't adjust in time. Well, I think, yeah. Just trying to find the bomb. Does get his hands on it, but his teammates are investigating outside while he's still left with a whole lot of lobby to look after. Oh. Yeah, really nicely done there from Gizmi. Kept the pressure on. Oh god, Woro. His angle gets cleared, but there's simply no time here for PERA to even make it to a bomb site, so staying alive is the priority. Oh god, the AWP of DGL out in the open, but this round has fizzled up here for PERA. Ryu's in a very protected position. He sits underneath those vents. It's just Gizmi still continuing to fight. And the fact that DGL swings when he's got an AWP and he doesn't get loss bonus for losing that round to time is mad. That's way more risk than it's worth it. Yeah. Even the way that Poirier played it, even if he didn't have the bomb, because they had so many forward players, like, close to lobby, they probably would have still hounded that man down. Just because they know where he is. And when you lose outside, you want to fight forward into lobby. That was part of the call there for Monte. It really worked out for them, though, so hats off to them. A good mid-round decision and some nice aggression from Woro to really give them that advantage in the first place. Ooh, a tag onto DGL. And the nade, oh my god, the util is perfect. A molly at one side and a nade on the other. DGL had nowhere to run. At the same time, you know, one player is hard saving in T-spawn, the other is challenging top silo towards outside. Really hoping to deal some damage to the Monte economy. Yeah, let's not diagnose them just yet. They did call a tactical timeout, but I do think this is technical. DGL is no longer with us. So it should transition. Wait, is he back? No. Doesn't seem like he is. I'd be surprised if we continue, but I guess he's back. You might need a little refresh of the HUD, but yeah, I see 5 Ts. So don't let your eyes deceive you. No. You're a tease in a different way.
Demka. Now with an 8 upstairs, Demka is going to be trying to find forward again. And gets taken down.
Yeah, okay. I mean, leveraging a man advantage on that bomb site, they were a little scared to drop into the site, but once they realized where Demka was positioned, able to just make use of that extra man, PERA immediately pacing up, you know, called the tactical timeout and just decided to attack ramp and trade successfully. You know, they just overwhelm all those players that decide to meet them, and the response just simply wasn't fast enough to really stop PERA from taking space away, unfortunately. But a nice change of pace to instigate more success on this T side. PERA already going to be pretty pleased with how this nuke has started off.
Yeah, and that saved AK is really paying off. And hey, you know what? We go from one problem to the other. We've got CTs all over the place, and MSN doesn't like it. He's taking them down. Not just a notch, but more than a notch. I actually don't know what's more than a notch. You know what? That could have been a great line, but it wasn't.
Yeah, well, it's a 4-on-5. And don't be deceived. Their coaches are always not involved.
What do you mean? We're not going to see a kill from Shlobeshkov?
Nor LMBT.
His name wasn't as comedic, so... Well, 5-on-2? No, 5-on-3. Sorry, yeah,
yep,
5-on-3. Now. Yeah.
Maybe LMBT stands for "Let me be there," like in the server.
If you guys haven't figured out, we are trying to puzzle this one together, just as Monte is. They're going to be staying their ground and hoping that there's going to be another attempt at trying to push forward into hell, and that's something they could attempt to punish. Now, PERA have got no read on this. Monte haven't revealed their position at all, and they don't want to show that hand. Ryu, however, was covered off by Krassil, a cover that now dissipates. Ryu caught out by a flank as well. Great pathing from PERA, and they find themselves in 6.
Yeah, once again, really nicely done, and it seems like it's the same vulnerability. You know, they strike into ramp, and they're just able to get so much access. They slow down the round, and, you know, there's a bit of a gamble called by the Monte side, but they were comfortable to make that. You know, if they didn't actually hit that A-bomb site, they probably would have just saved their weapons, and it was going to be a B-side finish, but then putting that together, slowing down, and having so many different attack avenues onto the site, even when you have 3 players there, it can be hard to hold.
Hey, we have these again.
And CTs. Everybody's in their rightful spots.
Fantastic. Gizby's trying to get a little bit antsy and dancy around these smokes, but Aaron's actually moving right past him. They're not going to be ready for this at all. They are actually watching out for it. An opening that Krassel's very much aware of. You love to see it, honestly. And this is where Camion might be caught out by Gizmy as well. If there's any position, any sound given up, Camion even tries to swing out and clear it, but he's just met by a straight headshot.
Yeah, that could have been catastrophic, the way that this round was building at the start of it, but the fact that Krasnal kept his attention raised on main, and Gizmy gets his nice early advantage here for Monte, one that they're hoping that they can convert on. There were like contingency plans, even if a player sort of crept their way into secret, or slipped their way down. Monte at least had War down on B. And they have, unfortunately, just smoked themselves off at door once again. So, any plan that PERA had emerging out of door, unfortunately, cannot happen. 2 players on the lower side here for Monte. But they are split. Ramp is open access. And once again, Hell is a vulnerability, but they won't peruse it.
Down from Waro, trying to buy some more time. That nade's already been used, so they can't actually expire it manually. He's getting up above it as well. It's a one-way, but one that can be quickly sussed out. Emerson trades, but unfortunately for PERA, with this little time left, the round does seem to be completely impossible. Bomb will be planted. The digits dialed in, but DGL on the other side can't get the frag. It's only MSN performing, and where he looks for an ace, instead he finds death. Monte, collect that third.
I think the positioning of Waro's fallen M4 actually kind of weirdly spun MSN out. I mean, it was positioned around that box, and there was a peeking silencer around the boxes. And then he picked it up and was like, oh, well, it wasn't a guy. And instead, I've got my hands on a rifle, but that smoke dissipated, and Monte were there in numbers. So his chances weren't high anyway. That's a good way for Monte to gain advantages. It's been these outside fights, you know, whether it's been Waro instigating that action, or this time, you know, even letting the players outside get a bit of territory, but being able to plug up that gap rather quickly. If Monte can keep punishing these PERA players for exploring this part of the map, then things could look up for the remainder of this half. Maybe PERA don't even send players this direction anymore. They've been successful at breaching into ramp, and they're gonna walk it again.
That's the plan, but Ryu this time a little bit more ready. Good for that first. Those Porio's around, but what's going on, Ryu? You're giving up position, giving up your gun, giving up everything. Maybe Demka can try and put something together, though he is sussing out Aaron, knows that he should be nearby as Aaron's trying to make a play through the smoke. Is there timing to catch? Gizmo has a Molotov in his hand, the smoke down at the door. Gizmy around the corner, still waiting for this to dissipate, and Aaron is caught out. This is where Gizmy's not done. Picks up a second as well. And now right back to a 4v2.
Yeah, lovely methodology there from Gizmy. Got to redeploy on that smoke, and a little bit of a better view into those T-side vents. Now, once again, they do have access to this ramp, and there is nobody on lower for Monte. But they'll hope to leverage their man advantage. I don't know if they're trying to sound bait or what. But no one was within earshot to hear that Molotov be dropped. 20 seconds and they're splitting up. Poria, nice kill. Bomb spotted. Waro dealt with, but a Molotov down on B. In fact, they'll throw 2, but they're going to go towards the A-bomb. They don't have time for this. They simply don't have time, especially if somebody hung around this A-bomb site, but Poria had the bomb, had the package, and he'll plant for heaven. This is suddenly working out wonderfully here for PERA.
Time as a construct, and PERA are the masters of it. Monte decide to back out and get the hell out of there. They want to try and reset in through mini, perhaps, but they don't have kits, so time works both ways.
Oh dear.
Demka, oh no, BGL. He's actually pulled out the Molotov. That's opened things up for Gizmi to potentially get one, but Demka, when he does pick up a kill himself, a nade at his feet, and DGL takes him down without even needing the gun. What a round from PERA. Full recovery in a manner that felt impossible.
I thought for sure there was no way Monte let that slip out of their hands. I thought there was 0% chance that players overstepped their mark, but once they found War on the flank and it came to that 2-on-3, suddenly that man advantage that they thought they had, you know, that was a 2-on-4 that PERA pulled together. The fact they went down to 3, they start scrambling down those vents when they see and hear both those Molotovs. That's why he threw that Molotov down the ramp. That is so well done, actually. But I thought somebody would still anchor onto that bomb site and they'd play the numbers once the bomb was down. They get caught slipping. They tried to beat them at their own game, but PERA, that one step ahead, they made a bit of a gamble that anchor wouldn't stick around, and it paid off. Damn, that's a really annoying way to lose a round. So that's genuinely felt like you had everything going for you,
yep,
and they hoodwinked you.
If anything's gonna break you, that might be it. And break you in more ways than just the one. Look at their money, look at their buy, look at what they have to work with over here. It's just their own. Honestly, it feels like just their own 2 hands of their willpower. Pockets are feeling pretty empty. And the CT's knowing too. Ryu putting himself in a position to try and collect on anyone descending. He'll need to do it. Doesn't feel like they have any way of retaking the site if they actually break into it. When I say Ryu, I meant Waro. Sorry guys, this is hard to keep track of with the numbers. I'm used to 5 being the 5th player.
Yeah, I am as well. I've been caught out by a couple of times, but not relying on numbers. Nameplates are where it's at. Gives me here on the nameplate with that FAMAS, and Demka trying to keep things contained over in Garage. Flash in, and they should be able to overwhelm, but Krasnal there to cover slightly. Does get DGL trying to emerge out of secret. Gives me labored spray, but it goes both ways, and Krasnal once again collecting on another. So man advantage still held here for Monte, even though outside is taken by PERA.
Monte continue to try and double up, but this is where MSN had the opportunity to maybe even get 2 Ryus there to trade, but it was a peak 1 by 1. A little bit of staggering that could have opened the door. One that remains firmly shut until Poria punches through it. And Ryu's skull will break in the process, but guess what, Poria? Waro's 1 step ahead of you. He's been there since minute 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're glad that they had a player down towards that lower side. They'd conceded so much control towards outside, and so Waro was just keeping tabs on it. And so once he heard that vent clunk, knew he had the whole round in the palm of his hand. Once again, Monte, you know, having that man advantage to start does certainly help them here. It doesn't escape into PERA's clutches this time over. But one more round and it is enough on a CT side. It's not ideal, but it'll be something to work off of, especially if they're able to keep winning those pistol rounds.
Oh my goodness, Demka's the only one to find a frag. DGL in the meanwhile has already picked up 2, so PERA not done yet.
Demka's on the hunt as well, he's chasing.
Who's hunting who?
Oh my god, Krassel's
oh my goodness, Krassel's a madman and Demka's just a dead man. Krassel's happy to have collected on 1, but now it's all down to Gizmi. If they hit the lower bomb side, Gizmi still got a chance here. They don't have the best weapons and honestly don't have the most HP either.
I mean, an A-side finish just feels like you're able to sort of cover each other a little bit better. On B, there's so many open angles. And they do have smokes, but they're kind of worried to make a move. So yeah, they're going to wrap into Hell, get to Heaven, and start to clear out the bomb site that way. So that Poria can sort of transition in with them and maybe even have that after plant. This is, well, I mean, the logic is certainly sound here for PERA. Going lower, there's just so many nooks and crannies that Gizmy could catch you out on, so he hoped, but they don't go B, and so this 1-on-3 is looking less and less likely. PERA may have just punched themselves into an 8th round, and Poria will secure it. A very successful T-side half from the Hungarians. Final map in the series. Let's see how Monte do in the second.
After looking like they'd recovered in Mirage, Nuke is a completely different story. PERA have demolished Monte's expectations going into this one, and Monte now really need to start whipping up something going into this T side.
Absolutely. I mean, there were so many rounds of tragedy for Monte on that CT, so starting with a pistol would be great. And Waro already finding the first on this P250. DGL smoked off as well, so can't look for a counter kill. They're looking to wrap in heaven. They're using numbers. Aaron breaking the glass for them, and they'll happily oblige. They'll barrel straight through those lockers, but Aaron shooting at feet.
And, well, you know what? That shooting continues. Crastle for now does add another one into it. Aaron is just not able to find a head. He just can't get a fair duel. It won't happen for him. 4 versus 2, rather 3 versus 2. That isn't wrong this time over. DGL's already trying to get involved and see if he can get a quick kill over. Spots out the bomb as well, but can't do anything about it. Now T's are trying to double up through double doors, and that's where the bomb can be planted. DGL has no chance of interrupting, and although he's relying on Aaron to try and take first contact, that's not going to end too well when Aaron was already having a step in the grave. DGL all alone and taken down. Gizmy here to shut him out.
Yeah, triple kill in from Krasnal in this pistol, and that's just because they used such brute force to take over Hell. Such a weird route for Monte to have gone through. Not only taking outside, then to go through Hell. You know, they had the threat of potentially going to that A-bomb site and going to Heaven, but once they found the ramp player, they just go B instead. So they wrap around to B in the longest way possible, but they succeed. Helps when you get a few kills along the way.
Always nice.
But that's a jump start that Monte seriously needed coming into the second half. Very successful attacking effort from PERA in the first. Now coming in with USPs. No Zeus's. No upgraded pistols or anything, so not expecting a whole lot here.
What if that was just a quick nade into Heaven from Ryu, but he can't see what we can. He doesn't know. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does now.
He heard you.
Thank you, Ryu. I appreciate it. Now stop stream sniping. Damn it! I know you can hear me. That's not true, guys. I'm making a bad joke. It's not true at all.
It is indeed a bad joke. They don't need the help. Ryu looked great on the second map. Not so hot in the first, and a little bit of a cold start. But I think a lot of the Monte players really suffering on that CT side. It's not like Ryu wasn't typically getting his one at ramp, but he was typically traded even if he did. Fast A-side attack and some outside smokes. There's a lot of utility sailing out here from Monte. They're running a lot of different opening starts. So PERA should be a little confused as to what the actual priority is here for Monte. Still not hearing a lot of sound or footsteps with those grenades that end up sailing out. Not jumping the gun, not over-rotating. Only one player starting to consider the possibility of a B-side attack. It's Poria that inserts himself into lower. Things getting a little uncomfortable here for PERA. A lot of possibilities for Monte. Could be a number of players already crossed down towards Secret. Instead, they're actually regrouping over to ramp, and this is a major vulnerability. There's nobody here. Oro gets his kill towards outside, just transitioning into Secret to link up with Gizmi, but DGL does have decent timing to address this, but overwhelmed. So many players ending up peeking him, so our man advantage, and Poria just funneled out by the instant double doors peek.
Well, it's official. Nuke is T-sided. HLTV has confirmed it.
Yeah, where's that article, huh? We've got a sample size of like 4 maps, and it's true. It's T-sided.
I still remember when the new Nuke came out. Just the amount of sorry, not even the new when the ramp around Heaven got removed.
The rafters, yeah.
Yes, the rafters. When they got removed, I remember just the amount of time people spent trying to say that, oh, Nuke is like fully T-side and a normal half is like 10-5 to the T-side. Yeah, that was not fun. Not a fun time.
It was an interesting meta. There's had a lot of different versions of Nuke over the years.
This one's been stable for so long that I think people don't even realize that. So many people have forgotten about the rafters around Heaven.
Yeah, I mean, there were rafters, there were an extra set of doors on that lower site, there was like a storage room down on B. There used to be 2 entrances to the vents. A window inside of hut.
Was 2 entrances to the vent ever a thing in the new Nuke?
I
don't think it was.
Don't think
that was
so.
Old Nuke. That's 1.6 Nuke, yeah. Or
even just early go, yeah.
Yeah. Well, regardless of what it was, PERA and Monte are playing in the here and now. And they've got crossing smokes.
And they'll cross with those smokes.
That's why they're called the crossing smokes.
Yep, that is, I was just explaining it, just in case.
Good naming convention right there. Programmers could learn something from it.
It's better than the scientists when they just discover something and it's like, yeah, I'm naming that right after me.
Well, MSN is trying to pump in with a force of 100 newtons. And there you have it. The apple does indeed fall on Krassel's head, and he's dead.
Good news is that bomb hasn't sailed away from potential possession or reacquisition here for Monte. Smoke is a little bit weird, and there's so many players there. In fact, another smoke that's down. MSN going to continue throwing more pellets downrange. Makes it very difficult. They're just suppressing fire onto that bomb, and they do find it. MSN able to reload on that mag. He'll finish off the job. They have flooded the ramp. They have complete control of Trophy, and Gizmy was trying to look at some space down at B, but he has no teammates, no bomb, and 5 CTs potentially staring him down. 20 seconds left on this clock as well. It is far from ideal. This is looking just like a save, just like that, and he may not even be allowed that.
Oh, Poria. Oh no, he looks away. What? He doesn't register Poria when he's trying. Oh, yeah. That's
okay.
Still gonna be a save, but it's a messy one.
Counter-terrorists win.
Okay, that got weird. He swiped his screen so fast, he just didn't register.
It's like a bad horror movie.
And I want to say somebody probably told him, because when he broke the window and got into control, he did look back. But also Poria shot, so who knows?
Who really does?
Because it can pop up on radar when you see somebody like that, even if you don't actually perceive them with your actual eyes. That's not a round that Monte were supposed to lose. They're up against upgraded pistols and some Mag 7s. PERA went in with a scrappy buy, but bounding right back into proper rifles, Waros hit the mark with his AWP.
Good to see him being able to get involved the same way. He was such a leading factor on Mirage as well, but in the meanwhile, Aaron is leading himself, going in, and he's going to find all this information.
This is so free.
Is the one who was tasked with actually getting this, and War's death might actually help them out. Gizmy turns around in time to get the frag. Aaron can't pair together the long-range spray, so what could have been a disaster is instead advantage maintained.
That's got to be annoying for everyone involved. I mean, Waro dying for basically no reason, and Gizmy just, I mean, it's just a fast timing employed there from Aaron. Like you said, it does actually help that Waro is dealt with, otherwise all those lobby players could have been just dealt with on trigger discipline. Follow-up kill from Demka, so the man advantage gets heavier here for Monte. And they're going to decide to wrap and attack this A-bomb site. Gizmy leading the way, trying to rectify for an easy mistake to make. And that one kill should secure the round entirely here for Monte. DGL should most likely save this AWP.
Yeah, if he's able to, he should be able to drop down a weapon for a teammate as well, and they take a buy into the next one. But Aaron will be looking back and having nightmares about that one. Unfortunately, his individual form's not been as sharp as we were hoping for. After that ancient performance, 7 and 13 over here, and this was definitely one of the rounds where you could have seen that score being quickly inflated.
I don't actually know if Nuke is one of those maps where, because of the spawn changes, I know a lot of maps the timings have kind of shifted ever so slightly. I don't think Nuke is one of those that had a massive change to the potential timings for CTs to be aggressive, but you know, I've been that top silo player. It does feel like they can get underneath you very rapidly. Even crossing to red, I feel like even if you take the fastest route to get on top of silo, it's almost impossible to spot. But these are pretty... Yeah, I don't know.
I won't lie and say I know the answer to that one.
No, it's purely a hypothetical I posed to myself, because the spawns do feel...
The new spawns have absolutely devastated me, I won't lie to you. The amount of time I spent into learning all the spawn smokes on every single map, I am very heartbroken.
Yeah, we get it. You're a nerd. Unlucky.
No, it's the only way I can do anything in CS.
Just learn the new ones, duh.
There's 11 spawns on Anubis now. There used to be just 5.
Wait, they added spawns to Anubis?
Yeah, they added spawns to Anubis. It's really annoying.
Because they removed spawns in basically every other map. So
they added spawns in Anubis. I don't know why.
Okay, I actually didn't know that. I thought they'd removed them and made them like 5-6 spawns maximum to each side now, but...
They just went from 5 to 11. And it's
Lovely.
a shame. But it's a shame that will not be seen over here, as we are still, of course, on Nuke. Let's not forget. Oro unable to find another opening frag with that up that he was looking for, but the hunt is good to witness. In the meanwhile, Gizmi has been left alone on outside, but these smokes will not have the most amount of time left to them. More than anything else, they're hoping that it's a threat. And Demka is the same, but this boost up from DGL is a very risky business, as he will end up giving out a sound cue as well. No spam to counter out, but Demka will now find Camion, not able to get the frag in time, and he's running out of bullets. That's where DGL can get involved.
So much damage on both those players. The Molotov almost finishing off Camion, it bleeding out into Tetris. And the Molly deployed by MSN actually funneled its way into Deep Hut. So all those players are softened up. They do funnel their way into Poria's possession. 1 kill is all he'll get. Krasnal a quick trade, who has been quite locked and loaded on this map. Waro as well, great shot onto DGL, who got a glance, but just couldn't adjust in time. Gizmi's lurk as well, patting out. So just like that, they go from man disadvantage to advantage in the post plant.
I'm surprised that PERA is even considering contesting this, Aaron. Surely you go back and save with these M4s. Again, it's a case where these players aren't really looking like they're fully on the same page. Going for exit frags over here doesn't really give you much. Monte's money is good. I know that the Nuke bomb radius makes it so you can get a little bit more done here if they make the wrong decision on where to exit from, but that does seem like more risk than it's worth.
I mean, you also have to have played way more forward than Aaron currently is if you wanted to, you know, threaten the idea of like a ninja defuse or something of the sort. Because Nuke, Ancient, while we may have criticisms about the bomb radius, the fact that the radiuses are so large does actually allow people to sort of slide in at the last 6 or 7 seconds to maybe get a defuse.
And that's always a good time.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, but when you die across the map to the bomb, that's the anti-fun, and that happens way more frequently than ninja attempts.
I'll take the 1 out of 45.
I won't. Actually, I'd make that trade every day. PERA are not happy with the rounds that they've lost coming into this half, though. A timeout used, their first so far. And why would they have called a timeout when things were feeling light and breezy on that T side? Made some good mid rounds. What a 2 versus 4 in there. Felt like Monte weren't really engaged on the defense, but now that they're on the attack, they're finding openings. You know, some of them via Waro. You know, Krasnal is finding his impact. Gizmi, you know, was doing these lurking duties on Ancient as well, but has been able to slide into a couple troublesome positions for PERA to really deal with. A few more pieces to this puzzle, and PERA are trying to build an idea of it themselves as well. They don't want Monte creeping into the lead.
Warriors taking aim. Oh my god, Waro just misses the timing on that one. That should give DGL a slight advantage if he just wants to train in and hold the angle. DGL, though, not willing to actually commit for that long, especially when the risk of a push down late is still there. He is going to have to deal with potentially a double swing out with the vertical extension that Gizmi can give. Hard shot to hit in that situation. But won't be easy to chase him down either, so he does still have that semblance of safety. CTs, in the meanwhile, also have that second threat, so Aaron can try and push into Secret if that ended up being his T hit in there, but Aaron now not being cleared out at all. He's going to be able to duck away and even gets another headshot. Damage is fantastic. And Monte aren't feeling too happy.
Yeah, and DGL still a statue around those secret steps, and they still have Poria right behind that AWP, so there's 2 players committed down to this lower side. There's a lot of open territory that has to be held by the remaining upper players, and they're starting to make their way up secret. Camion, a nice kill onto Ryu, who's already low HP. Krasnal could get caught on poor timing, but Waro's already watching for that secret emergence, and Krasnal's wrap into heaven is perfect. They get all the kills they need to breach into the A play. And it's now all about dialing in those digits. Krasnal protected by Demka, who holds those vents. Monte have made their way into double digits first.
Gotta say that round looked a little bit messy from PERA overall. The fact that they're not actually able to just trace out Waro, the fact that they're not able to actually hold down the line for him either. You know, you get all that damage into Garage, you get a kill with that as well. Unfortunately for them, they're not quite able to keep it in line. Now, their money suffers because of it.
Yeah, DGL, I mean, it felt like he had to do a lot in that round, given his position, and unfortunately just didn't have the read.
I mean, given the fact that Poria even comes in to back him up, right? They're putting so many resources into the lower part of the map.
MSN, oh my goodness. Oh, that quick strafe from Demka really threw him off.
Well, you know what? They'll be okay with this trade-off, but they're not ready maybe for a late descent? Is that really being planned by Krasl? Surely not.
Well, they want to break into main. Yeah.
They're trying to pull the rotations back in so Krasl can drop down. Krasl is able to get it perfectly. That's very nicely played between them. And as Warois is dropping down the vent to try and get a dry peek out with the op, I cannot believe his audacity. Sure, but you can believe the confidence. It is justified.
Yeah, he's been feeling it. He's been positioning himself perfectly for so many of these kills. Could get caught out by a player emerging from those vents. Aaron is currently lined up to do exactly that. Could just barrel up and see if he might overwhelm that ult, but there are so many players here for Monte. Critically, no kits for PERA either. Oh my goodness. I don't know if War actually saw him, but he now knows. He heard the ladder. He sees Aaron toying with the idea, but won't commit. Everyone needs to get proper distance so they don't die to this bomb. Well handled. Called it perfectly. The idea of them just drawing attention from Poria when he was inside of lobby. He was the man that could have been a problem.
Yeah.
Them actually moving into that A-bomb site, but Krasnal just came down that ladder, full spray. You know, didn't even wait before he landed to start shooting, but Poirier was just so blissfully unaware that that was a possibility.
The advantages of having 35 bullets in a Kalia.
He had an M4 A1S, actually. He had 20 bullets.
I could have sworn he had it. Okay, you know
nope,
what? That makes it a lot more impressive that he goes full Arnold over there then.
I mean, he was just ready to send it at him, and I think there was some information levied over by Demka that he'd hit him at least a couple of times, so that's probably the added confidence that he knew he only had to finish off the job.
Well. Shout out to Krasl then. As if he needed any more of those.
Yeah. He's looked good this series. I mean, it was a little quiet on Mirage, but that's because everybody else was kind of popping off.
Only so many kills to go around in situations like that.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for DGL, there's a lot of kills going around for him to try and find. He is unfortunately not having the easiest of times getting them. He's had his own numbers, he has his own timings, but doesn't feel like has packed the punch that he needs to.
This is much more of a slow burner here for Monte. And Waro is waiting for the right time to boost up onto his teammates, I think. Gizmi kept crouching down and Wara's like, nope, not yet. Or are they just simply waiting for PERA to get aggressive? Because right now they're sitting pretty static.
Facing the smoke's a tough time for Aaron over here with the flashbang in his face as well, but he peeks out behind the smoke trying to use it as cover. They're trying to find Demka early on into the round before they address the lower bomb site hit, but it might be too late. Demka's been so patient about this. He's played this wonderfully. He knows there's no reason for him to actually make a move. Esporia's already gone down to the lower side as well. There's that secondary op gone, and Demka finally activating. Patience pays off.
And Aaron had the clear. You know, he was ready for it, but dink for dink, that AK is always going to find that headshot at full efficacy. And unfortunately, Aaron's teammate suffers the same fate. This was a much slower burn. Nobody cheated down towards that lower side. It was really on Poria to deter them from that lower side. And he got his first, but they had 2 ults and unable to get much out of the both of them. Doubled up at ramp, really. DGL, a kill on the exit, but Monte strike into 12. And MSN does not survive. In fact, a whole lot of players go up in smoke, but Monte are pleased with that. An extra player out of the CT side. They don't have to worry about another one of sort of these residual weapons floating around. And it does come with a compromise for the PERA squad. Less utility on MSN. They actually do muster together a full buy, but they're just so light on util. MSN actually subtracts, gets the SMG instead. 3 rounds to close.
DGL in the meanwhile fully blinded out, and that AWP was in the right position, but just can't
call.
quite find anything at all. Monte, full speed way down into B, and there's basically no resistance. Sure, Warrow goes down and outside, but you've still got Gizmi trying to threaten what Demka's been doing all this time. Aaron has fallen. Trade is there. The CTs have the numbers advantage, but it feels like it'll be so hard to actually retake the site. MSN's got a Krieg.
Oh, but they're finding numbers advantages. Gizmi left on his lurk to try and cut off rotates. Camion was waiting for it. Demka's at least clamored back with another. And MSN has yet to reveal himself. DGL, oh god, headshot offered up, but they go straight into the meat grinder. Both players bouncing off each other. It's Monte that closed. They trailed coming into this half, going into their T side, 8-4, and they still managed to contain PERA to just the 1 round on that CT effort. I mean, shout out the stand-ins, but also the calling looked great on that T side of Nuke.
Yeah, they were really able to